Hello again, Joseph Carrabas here, and yes, recording is in progress, thanks to Zoom's little voice. Before today's subject, by the way, is let the characters do the work, which is a follow-on to the previous experiment in writing, which was who haven't I written about lately? But before I get into that, we're listening to Pippin. And there are certain theatrical productions, usually musicals, that pull me right back to my early college days, first time through school. Went through school 3 times, went through college 3 times officially. Officially went through college 3 times. Never graduated, never got a degree. And then I went on to be a dean of a department, chair of a department, and written some books which are internationally adopted as college texts. So there you go. Never assume that college is where you get an education. It's where you, anyway, back to my first time through school, Pippin. I had an amazing friend back then. And we were friends for 17 years, but that's a totally different story how that ended. Well, I guess maybe it's not. And even back then, before I took writing seriously, I wanted to be a writer. He wanted to be an actor. He was set on Broadway. And he would share with me various musicals. He would actually buy me tickets, because I was a real poor kid, to go and see musicals, one of which was Pippin with Ben Vereen. There is a magic to the theater, to live performance. I'm sorry, you're not going to get it in the movie. You're not going to get it in streaming. And I also, excuse me, don't care if it's a small town production in the City Hall auditorium or on a church, stage. There is a magic to live performance, which you just do not find. And that also goes for music performance. You've had the opportunity to be with live performers. It's amazing. Much the same if you're in a stadium at a sports event, the energy is very different than when you're watching it on TV or something like that, listening to it on radio. So, did I do who I haven't written about? I've done who haven't I written about lately. Okay, did I say anyway? I'm sorry. This one here is about let the characters do the work. And again, it's something that falls out of my own writing. Again, work in progress, Fains I. I was doing a rewrite of chapter 4, which has been one of the bitch chapters. And I'm sure if you are a writer, an author, if you've been doing this for a while, you will have encountered the bitch chapters, one or more, that they are just not coming out right. You're writing them down. You're getting stuff down, but it's just not right. You can tell it's not right. Maybe you can feel it's not right. Maybe intellectually you know it's not right. Maybe emotionally or psychologically, whatever. And you just know it's not there. One of the techniques I learned long ago from people wiser than I is to step back and basically interrogate the character who owns that chapter or whatever's going on in the chapter. And I believe I've talked about that before, about who owns the chapter, who owns the sentence, who owns the paragraph. Let the reader know which character is action, is taking action at the front, so there's no question. Okay, so if you're having, one of those bitch chapters, who's the character that's on the screen right now, that you're writing about right now? Literally, in my case, what I do is I start talking to them. And I listen. I don't tell them what I want them to do, which I know a lot of people who are hardcore plotters. Like a police procedural, you need that. You need it in a police procedural. You need that hardcore plotting. However, as I mentioned previously, I kind of meld plotting and pantsing. I think most authors do. They may not admit it. They're not as mature and sophisticated as I. So I will, go to the character who's on the screen. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. And there becomes kind of a psychological war in my head. There's a lot of us in here, especially when we're writing. And the psychological war is giving up my desire and will so the character can do what is necessary. The characters, I understand how this sounds. The characters know a heck of a lot better than I do what's supposed to be going on in the story. If you want to be really psychological, neuroscientific about it, it's what's the non-conscious versus the conscious mind. Great, wonderful. You know why, you know how. Yippee. Let's get back to it. The character knows what's going on better than I do. I will offer that perhaps the character that is in the bitch chapter knows what's supposed to be going on better than you do. Couldn't hurt to ask. What the heck? You've asked everybody else. You've workshopped the chapter probably. Scratched your head a few times, sat down, banged on it, spilled coffee on it. That'll teach it. Assuming it's a printout. You don't want to do that on a keyboard. Let the character do the work. Talk to them. Interrogate them. What I do, if I can't get the character to talk to me, I just begin typing. What is the character doing right now? Right here in the scene. What's happening? They're in a car. Where are they going? Oh, they're going there. What are they going to do when they get there? Oh, they're going to do that. Why are they going to do that? Oh, if you study journalism, you know about who, what, when, where, and why. And if you are blessed enough to have journalistic training in your writing, whoa, that's great, because it's very useful stuff. It's very direct, very straightforward. And that's what this is. Let the characters do the work. Who is the character who's on the screen right now? What are they doing? Where are they doing it? Why are they doing it? When are they doing it? Okay? Get all that down. Make that a separate list, or just type it right into wherever the manuscript is. And then begin looking at it and talking to the character about it. Maybe at this point, you don't even need to talk to the character anymore. Great. Who, what, when, where, why. That, to me, has always been a way to find out what's wrong with the chapter. And instead of having a bitch chapter, I now have a well-behaved chapter. It may need further tweaking, but it's a lot better, really, in my opinion. It's under control. Might be the character's control, might be your control. Learn to share. Sharing's good. Remember what you learned in the playground. Shares these. So work on it that way. It's very useful for me. I hope it is useful for you. And hope you enjoyed and learned as much as I have by sharing this with you. Yes, I will search for there it is.